Okay. So next topic is our array. Okay. So there are three types of array that are used in your AutoCAD. Okay. First one is the polar rectangular array, then polar array, and then path array. Okay. So first one is the rectangular array. Okay. So in this rectangular array, you can create number of copies of an object in a pattern. ठीक है, linearly means to say that horizontally or vertically. ठीक है, so let's see how to create the rectangular array. ठीक है, first one we have to draw the rectangular array. ठीक है, so firstly we have to draw the initial figure. ठीक है, I have to show you this drawing. ठीक है, the drawing is a rectangular array. In this you have one rectangle and a circle. Okay, and there are number of copies created on this rectangle. Okay, then for this we have to use the rectangular array. Firstly you have to draw the initial figure of rectangle. Length is 100 and breadth is also 100. Okay, so let's see, draw one rectangle of 100 by 100. So REC is the command for rectangle, then enter. Then I have to specify my first corner. ठीक है, so I specify my first corner is 20, 20. Okay, then enter. The next point you have to specify the dimension. So I specify my dimension, D enter किया. Then you have to specify the dimension, specify the length of the rectangle. I specify the length is 100. Okay, and the rectangle width is 100 because both are 100. Then I specify the other corner. Okay, with the help of mouse you can specify your corner, then left click. Then next step, you can specify the dimension also. Firstly you can specify the dimension with the help of this toolbar dimension, then linear, then specify your first point, then specify your second point, then ऊपर जाओ. ठीक है, then you have to specify the horizontal length, then you have to specify the vertical length. Now you can see our rectangle is ready. Now you have to draw a circle, initial circle. So in this our figure, your initial circle, you have to draw this circle on the lower left corner is a circle of radius 10. Okay, radius 10, and distance from x-axis means to say the end point of the rectangle is 10 from vertical and horizontal. Okay, so let's see. You have enter C, then I specify the center point of my circle. Now what will be our center point? Our origin is 0, 0. Our first point, this point is 20, 20, and the next point will be our 20 plus 10, that means 30, 30. ठीक है, so 30, 30, then enter. Now you can see our rectangle is created, circle is created. Then you have to enter the radius. Okay, in case you want to enter the diameter, you can enter the diameter. I have to enter the radius. Our radius is 10. Then enter. Okay, so I think there is a mistake in our drawing. The radius is 5, so we can erase this. Then enter C. Then enter the first point 30 comma 30. Then specify the radius. Radius is 5. Okay, now our circle is created. On this end point you can check your dimension also. Go to dimension, linear, first point, then second point, dimension, linear, first point, second point, then OK. Now you can see your circle is created. Now next one you have to create the number of copies. Okay, initially we have created this. Okay, now you have to create the number of copies of this circle with the help of rectangle command, rectangular array command. Okay, so then you have to use array. AR is the shortcut key for array. You can enter full or you can give AR, then enter. Now you have to select the object which you want to create the number of arrays. So I select this circle as my object of array, then enter. Then I have to enter the array which I want. So I want the rectangular array. So type R for rectangular array. Now you can see our initial figure is created, but we want our final figure. So that's so for that I have to change the number of rows and columns. In a rectangular array, you can change the number of rows and columns and distance between them. So for changing the number of columns, you have to enter COL. Then enter. Then you have to enter the number of columns. Now you can see in your figure the number of columns are 6. Okay, so I have to enter the number of columns, that is 6, then enter. Now it is asking for specify the distance between number of columns. So I have to specify the number of columns. The distance between the columns is 16. Okay, so I have to enter the distance is 16. Okay, then enter. Now you can see our column is set. Now you have to set the rows. For rows you have to enter R. Okay, in this space you can see this rows, R for rows. R enter karo, then enter. You can see the number of rows are 3, but we want the 6. So for that we have to enter 6. Okay, now you have to specify the distance between rows. So I have to give the space between rows. The space is 16. Okay, then enter 16, then enter. Then specify the incrementing elevation between rows. You have to enter 0 over enter. Now if your figure is ready, if your rectangular array is ready, then press enter. Okay, now your figure is ready. Okay, then you can edit this also. Right click, select the array, then click on a right click, then you can edit this array. You have a various option. Okay, so I don't want to edit this object. Now you have to give the dimension between rows, dimension between the columns, and radius. So specify the radius of the circle R15, dimension first point, then second point 16, dimension first point, second point, then 16. Now you can see your figure is completed, but now you have to create the hatching. So that's why for this you have to use the hatching command, H for hatching. Select the pattern which you want. Okay, I want this ANSA type of pattern. I select first one, then OK, then go to add pick point. Okay, so go to add pick point, then select the area. Okay, I select the area and it will show me the preview. Then I have to enter. You can change the color of your object also. I can change the color. Okay, you can change the angle and scale for hatching also. Okay, go to preview. Now you can see your drawing. Okay, if you like this object, or if you are okay with your drawing, then press OK. Otherwise press escape to change the drawing. Okay, you can edit this also. Okay, so this is your rectangular array. You have created the rectangular array, and if it is okay, then you can copy this object and print this object to your sheet. Then next one is polar array. Okay, so let's see how to draw this polar array. So initially for drawing your polar array, you have to draw the center line. Okay, so in this figure you have to draw a center line. Then you have to draw the circles of radius 30, of radius 40 mm, and of radius 50 mm, and a smaller circle of radius 5 mm. So let's draw. For center line, I can use the construction line. So XL, enter XL for construction line. Then specify your first point. Okay, so you can specify the first point with the help of your coordinate system. Then I specify my first point. Then I press ortho mode. F8 is the shortcut key for ortho. Then specify the first point, then horizontal, then vertical, then press skip if it is okay. Then you have to draw the circle. I have to draw a circle of radius 30 mm, 40 mm and 50 mm. Type C for circle, first point. Then you have to specify the radius of the circle. I specify that my radius is 30 mm. Then OK. Then C enter. Specify your first point. Then specify your radius. Radius is 640 mm. Then next one, C enter. Then specify your first point with the help of your mouse, or O snap is on, then that's why it will show me the midpoint, end point, intersection point, quadrant. Okay, with the help of this object snapping. If O snap is off, then it will not show me this O snap or quadrant or intersection anymore. Okay, so specify the first point, midpoint, then you have to specify the radius of the circle. Now our radius is 50. Then enter. Now you can see our three circles are created of radius 30 mm, 40 mm and 50 mm. Now you have to create your 40 mm circle in dotted. Okay. So let's see how to draw this circle. I select this circle, then go to line type control. Okay, you can change the color of the circle also. Okay, because we want this center line also, that's why we can change the color of our center line also, and this circle also. Then go to other, line type control, go to other, then you have to go to load. Okay, because we want the dotted line, so we have to add the other dotted lines also. So go to load, then you can add number of lines which you want. Okay, so I want this dashed line. Okay, which you want, you can select uh, one, or with the help of control button you can select number of lines which you want. Okay, there are number of lines you can select. Okay, so I select this number of lines. You can see the lines. Okay, now next one you have to select OK. You can change the scale factor from here also, and afterward also. Okay, you have the option, you can hide the details or delete the lines. Okay, so I press OK, then I select line, then I go to our line control. Now you have to select the center, so select the center. Now you can see your line is converted into center. Then Now you have to create the circle, initial circle. Okay, you have created enough line and circles. Now you have to create the inner circle of radius 5 mm. Okay, so go to your figure. Now you have to create the circle of radius 5 mm, type C. Then specify the center point of the circle. I can specify my center with the help of mouse, and O snap is on. Okay, now you can select this quadrant. Okay, this quadrant is shown if the O snap is on. Okay, so select your quadrant with the help of mouse and press left click. Okay, then you have to specify the radius of the circle. The radius is 5 mm. Okay, now next step is you have to create the array. So we have to create the array. In this you have to use the polar array. So AR enter, then OK, then select your object. I select this object, then enter. Then you have to specify which array you want. Last one we want the rectangular array, now we want the polar array. So for P polar array you have to PO, write PO, then enter. Then now it is asking me for specify the center point of the array. So I specify my center point. This is our center point. Now here initially array is created. Okay, but in our figure you can see the number of arrays are more. There are 10 number of items or objects that is created by array. Now you have to change the number of items. So press I for change the number of items. Okay, so press I for number of item change. Then you have to press number of items 10, then enter. Now you can see your figure is ready. Okay, now you can change this figure. You can change the angle between and fill angle according to your choice. Okay, angle between is the angle between two objects, and the fill angle is the angle between first point and the last point of the object is called your fill angle. So that's it. You have to create the array, then you have to specify the dimension. Go to radius, specify your first radius, then repeat the radius, specify your second point, then repeat the radius, specify your third point. Okay, 30, 40 and 50, and specify the radius of this circle also. Okay, now if it is okay, then you can press OK, otherwise you can edit this also. Okay, now our figure is ready, then it is okay. You can change the dimension, size and dimension style with typing D for dimension style, dim style. Go to modify, then use the fit and increase the number. Use overall scale, it will increase. Okay, so increase the number of use overall scale by 2, then press OK, then OK, then set current, then close it. Now you can see here dimension is bigger in size now. Okay, now you can save this